With spring upon us here in Tuscany, we are keen to build the ultimate vegetable garden to ideally grow the majority of what we eat. My parents created a little terraced garden bed that many of you will be familiar with. Some of you may even remember the vegetable garden we created a couple of years ago at the house outside of Florence. But now that we're living the majority of our life on the farm, we'd like to make use of this magical little corner where the sun shines almost all day and it is fairly protected from the wind. The little rows of radicchio and insalata that my parents planted were so happy here. However, we have two challenges. Firstly, it's on a slope, and to make a second terraced garden bed, we can't dig into the hill or we will erode the foundation which the little cottage is sitting on. And secondly, the soil here on this hill is not ideal. It's full of stones and not the right texture. So we're planning to build a structure that will hold many layers of our homemade compost, sheep manure from the sheep farmer next door, and some better soil. But how to do this without it all just sliding down the hill over time? Initially, Guido wanted to use all these wooden pallets that we found for free. Then the sheep farmer came over, along with some of the workers from the vineyards, and being far more knowledgeable than us on what works in the countryside with this weather, we happily deferred to them for advice. They said timber will only wear away over time, even if treated, and suggested we use reinforced steel posts to create the structure, some wire netting to form a wall to hold in the soil, and then some of this white fabric that is called tessuto non tessuto in Italian. It's basically what we use to wrap our jasmine vines and roses and other plants to protect them from the frost on cold nights. They told us that this way the soil will be held inside the garden bed, and then we should layer small rocks on the inside, and then with those tufo bricks that you saw me building the steps a few episodes ago, we can build a graduated wall. It's a lot of work, but seeing as we know vegetables grow really well here, and it's where we often eat breakfast and lunch, it's the perfect place where one wouldn't mind coming to water the garden every day. So firstly, we cleared out all the old lettuce. I raked the existing garden bed. Guido got the trimmer and just cut down all the grass. We went to the chicken coop construction site on the other side of the property and found some reinforced steel bars and some old chicken wire netting. But then we were getting hungry because we'd already been doing other gardening all morning, planting more kiwi fruit and tending to our almond and plum trees, which are now growing extraordinarily well in just a few weeks. Our first almonds!
Look! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look how big this one. It had flowers a week ago.
Incredible.
Que fijo.
So this episode, I thought I'd show you the type of things we tend to eat every day. So many of you have asked me for this. I guess I often refrain from showing the preparation of salads because they're so simple and it's more assembling rather than proper cooking. However, I suppose sometimes even if a salad is really basic, it's motivating to be reminded how delicious healthy vegetarian eating can be. You guys see me making homemade pasta and cakes, and it's true we have this once a week as a treat, but most of the week, for lunch especially, I prepare dishes that are high in protein and fresh vegetables. We're having white beans with this salad. Italians, but particularly Tuscans, love white beans. Pumpkin seeds are rich in antioxidants, magnesium, zinc, iron, and they give a welcome crunch to contrast with the creamy avocado. Often I don't make a dressing if the tomatoes are really juicy or the avocado is really creamy, but if I do, I will make a dressing like this. I'll just mix a little pasta d'acciughe, which is anchovy paste, and I mix that with lemon juice or lime, pepper, a little yogurt, and olive oil. The good thing about this lunch is that it doesn't make you sleepy in a sugar carb coma afterwards, so we got straight back into hammering in the steel posts. So first we're going to water the point where we're going to put the the stake, and then so that the earth softens a bit, and then we're going to make a hole. Well, am I going to hold that, and you're going to? Okay. I trust you. Mi fido.
Proviamo senza.
Ah.
Why it's not going now?
Perché it's on an angle and you hit the other one straight down, no? Bravissimo.
Se lo reggi, amore, è meglio.
Ok, ok.
Perché balla.
Bravissimo. Ora faccio. Bravissimo, aspetta.
C'era un sasso, l'abbiamo rotto.
Okay. So now we're putting this sort of, what do you call it? Rete. Okay, so we started building the little wall of rocks. Guido's done an incredible job with the big hammer. Can it even be called a hammer? What is it?
Oh, in inglese lo so, in italiano è mazzolo.
Mazzolo. And we've folded all of the, well, it's not barbed wire, but the wire netting. And tomorrow the sheep farmer's delivering all the sheep manure, no?
Yeah.
But for now...
It's dark, sheep are sleeping, not pooing.
The next day, the sheep farmer arrived with his tractor and generously unloaded mature sheep manure. Oh, now it's coming together.
These blocks are very nice and cute, but are heavier than what they look.
I know.
Yeah.
When I was making the steps, I was thinking, oh, they don't seem as heavy when you first look at them.
Yeah, but it's a good thing because the weight will probably help in making and settling everything.
Sì, certo.
I hope.
No, this will look much nicer now from the front. Sheep manure is high in phosphorus and potassium, which is excellent for plant growth. Although we've heard the high nitrogen in sheep manure can burn plants, so it needs to be composted or left to mature first, and also mixed with soil. So this manure our farmer neighbour has been marinating for us for some time. The difficulty is that his tractor can't arrive right near the garden bed, so I had to transport the soil and the manure one wonky wheelbarrow at a time. And after doing 4 loads, I realized this is going to be a very long process. But can you imagine how wonderful and rich and deep this garden bed is going to be? These vegetables are just going to be in paradise here. The farmer then suggested he bring over a bale of hay so that we can layer that in with the manure and the soil. And then it was lunchtime again. On this day, I used avocados once more, but this time I got the protein from boiled eggs and chickpeas. As some of you know from my summer salad video a while back, I like to blend roasted or pan-fried vegetables with fresh vegetables so you have a mix of textures and some deeper sweetness. Because we're having eggs, I wanted to pair the dressing with more of a mustard flavour, so I'm mixing Dijon mustard with lemon juice, olive oil, pepper and some dried oregano. This was so salty and creamy and delicious, you just want to devour it by the spoonful rather than using a fork. I always love using dried and fresh herbs, so over this salad I scattered some freshly picked thyme, which really transforms your salad and makes it taste like the Mediterranean. It probably doesn't seem like we made much progress, but we didn't stop shoveling and bricklaying all day long until about 8 p.m. So I went up to the house and ran us a hot bath to soak our sore backs. Our hot water tank doesn't actually fill up the whole bath, so I keep one big pasta pot on the stove in the kitchen and then fill another pot from the other toilet, which has a separate tank, and slowly, like in the olden days, I fill the bath. I love baths by candlelight, but incidentally, the power then went off for a whole night and day, so it was actually quite handy that we had all the candelabras ready. That night, I just cooked a simple oven-roasted fish with zucchini, lemon and garlic, using all the lemons from our trees. After days of rain, everything is vivid and vital. We go for long walks, and the sound of bumblebees is everywhere. You wouldn't think they could make so much noise. One thing we both enjoy is just going around and noticing all the little changes in the garden and the surrounding fields, looking for animal footprints and noticing which wildflowers have bloomed since the rain. Guido scattered a big packet of poppy seeds under the olive trees the night before the big rainfall, so we're hoping very soon this will be a carpet of red flowers. Is it bees or wasps?
No, it's bees.
See?
Mm-hmm. They are still, if they bite more than 10 or 20, you can die. So.
Allora andiamo via.
No, basta stare fermi.
Then we returned to work. On this day, I made a carrot, ginger, cumin and ricotta soup that was so incredibly delicious and simple that I'll have to make it again and note the quantities so I can share the recipe if you're interested. Maybe you're not. I mean, carrot soup's pretty simple, but this was just really good and quite different from your average carrot soup. I also made some chocolate banana muffins, completely sugar-free, just sweetened with very black bananas and some orange juice. Again, if you're interested, I'll make them once more, noting the quantities, because I usually just cook by eye, so I don't write down how much I'm putting in. Absolutely no sugar, no chocolate chips, no sweetener, no honey, so they really help curb any 4 p.m. sugar cravings. But the cacao really brings a rich, fudgy chocolate flavour to them. And so the sun sets on another day of satisfying hard work, and our garden bed is slowly getting sturdier and more complete. These days we're spoilt with a multitude of very fast makeover videos or house flips, and the reveal is instantaneous, but this is the opposite of what we're doing here. Neither Rome nor our garden bed was built in a day or even a week. We're just working piano piano to slowly but thoughtfully create a home that will last a lifetime. So I thank you for giving me your time today and sharing this process with us. I hope you will return next Friday when I can show you a little travel adventure to another part of Italy. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next time. Alla prossima.